This week's movies: The 100-Foot Journey, Web Junkie, and The Dog.
I consider myself a romantic. There's sex and there's love. I'm a lover. When I met Ernie for the first time, it was love at first sight. And because I loved him on August 22nd, 1972, I had to do something.
The Dog is a documentary profile of John Wadowitz, whose 1972 bank robbery was the inspiration behind the film Dog Day Afternoon. In her review, Manola Dargis writes, "This absorbing, rollicking documentary draws on extensive interviews and digging deep into archives."
Bobby dropped the shotgun. All these people are standing there, but who's going to say anything? Oh, you dropped your shotgun.
The Dog explores the tension between movie-made truth and real-life fiction. It's a documentary portrait, but it's also an exploration of that sometimes messy thing called identity.
Nobody would ever rob a bank to give a guy a sex change operation. That's why they made a movie about it. But there's only one star, and that's me.
Web Junkie is a documentary about a boot camp for Chinese teenagers suffering from internet addiction. In his review, A.O. Scott writes, "Is internet addiction an acute problem or part of a more widespread dysfunction?" Web Junkie refrains from trying to answer such questions, which is both a virtue and a limitation. The viewer does get a close, detailed sense of life in the camp, but the film lacks either the immersive intensity that would galvanize emotions or a context that would provide enlightenment. And so, this brief tour of an unpleasant corner of reality feels less revelatory than voyeuristic.
Miserable, overcooked asparagus. In this restaurant, the cuisine is not an old, tired marriage. It is a passionate affair.
Culture and cuisine clash when an Indian restaurant opens up across the street from an established French restaurant. In his review, A.O. Scott writes, "There is a lot of soft-core culinary montage in the movie, and yet the 100-Foot Journey is likely neither to pique your appetite nor to sate it, leaving you in a dyspeptic limbo, stuffed with false sentiment and forced whimsy, yet starved for real delight."
I can clean my own wall.
The outer wall is not your wall. I know, because I had a clever plan to have it built very high, so nobody could see your restaurant.
The film is an empty pastry shell, an artificially sweetened meringue with no substance or conviction. Indeed, the dominant flavor of the 100-Foot Journey is pure banality.
But why change a recipe that is 200 years old?
Because, madam, maybe 200 years is long enough.